2017 is the 50th anniversary of Jethro Tull, and also within that 46 years of that, you were in the band. What does that number mean to you now that the band is celebrating, even though they're technically not together, celebrating 50 years since the start?
Yeah, well, 2018 is the year that I'm going to sort of put together a tour that covers all the career of Jethro Tull. So I'm going to do a 50-year celebration tour, and the music will span the whole period of time that Tull was together. And I think it's important to mark that anniversary, and I don't think anybody else is going to do it. So I think it would be a shame for fans who I think will see that as a milestone to ignore it. I mean, this year we're on the road with my band,
Yeah.
and we're doing a sort of regular mix of Tull and my own material.
Well, what is it about those songs that even to this day they still stand the test of time and are still just as iconic?
Well, I just think it's the same as a lot of artists: Fleetwood Mac, Pink Floyd, the Eagles, Neil Young. You know, their music is. I'm not saying that Jethro Tull's music is great. That's for others to judge, but I think it's strong. The songs are great quality and lyrical and musical and melodic, and I just think that's why people still listen to them. It's a very practical reason. You hear all these bands on the radio, and it's because they're good songs and they were recorded well, that they've stood the test of time, and really, that they belong there with new modern artists as well.
Now, being a solo artist these days, what has that shown you about live performance and the craft of being a guitar player?
Could you repeat that question?
Well, I said being a solo artist these days, what has that shown you about live performance and the craft of playing guitar?
Well, I've sort of been doing it for 50 years anyway, and I mean, the fact that I'm at the front of the band in many ways is fantastic for me, because if you want to look at it in the way that I've been brought up throughout all those years to learn what I do on stage and how a band works and how I want a band to be presented and entertainment and communicating with an audience. I mean, these are all things that you learn throughout the years of performing as a musician. So I'm in a good position to sort of know where I want to go. So it's really good for me. Plus, I love the fact that I can choose the music. I can do arrangements. There's a lot more guitar playing in my band, obviously, and I'm doing some of the Tull songs that fans haven't heard for a long time. So,
what's it been like to dive into that deeper catalog, to start really peeling back the layers?
Well, it was good fun because it hadn't been played for so long, so it was very fresh, and I think that was the one element to Jethro Tull in the latter years that wasn't there. That the freshness had gone, the sparkle had gone, the spontaneity. It was sort of going through the same process, tour after tour, very similar catalogue of music we were playing. The set list didn't vary hardly at all, and it was getting. It was getting really predictable, and Jethro Tull were never predictable. So we're sort of losing the essence of what Jethro Tull was all about. So in some ways I brought that back, because I don't play the obvious choices of music, but I just bring to the show that the songs that are really strong, sound dynamic, sound powerful, and the fans really like it.
When you look back on, I don't know, do you ever watch like the old clips of the concerts, like the YouTube videos that have popped up in recent years?
Sorry, what was the first part of that?
Do you ever look at the old clips of concerts?
No, I don't really, because I don't watch myself nowadays. I'm too critical, self-critical to be able to sit back and enjoy it. You know, even live recordings. That there aren't many that I can't criticise and wish I had played better. So I don't. I'm not that sort of a person.
Well, is it one of those things that when you create something, you're already ahead of it and it's already behind you in the rearview mirror?
Well, I don't disown it, but I'm looking ahead, and I think whatever performance we're talking about, tomorrow is going to be a better one. And if it isn't, then you're not progressing at all.
Well, when you look at like when I look at those old concert clips of Jethro Tull, there was such a electricity on stage.
Yeah.
And with Ian especially, where was that energy coming from, and what was he like in person compared to what you saw on stage?
I mean, you know, Ian wasn't an easy person to get on with. He was very demanding, and very strict, stringent. But you know, and the musical discipline was really intense. But you know, I've carried that forward because I'm in my own way. Those are my ethics as well. So it was hard work. You know, we weren't a party band. We really took what we did very, very, very seriously, and we're always working. You know, we never had sort of time off. You know, long holidays. We always had work lined up to do, but and you know, and we were really motivated, and we had amazing audiences. You know, you can't play to 10, 15,000 people who are going crazy and not be touched by it, and it sort of drove you further and further into music because you just wanted to play better and keep those fans happy and do your best for them.
Well, the two of you were the only members of the band that were together the entire time. In essence, what was it with that bond between you guys that made it so bountiful for so many years?
I mean, really, just professionalism. Really, you know, I wouldn't say we had a lot in common. In fact, you know, we had very little in common outside of music. But I mean, in many ways, I think that's good. You know, you look at a band who are very, very close. You know, even the same family. It's not always a good thing because you know it's difficult getting on with people. And the best footing is a professional work ethic that keeps you together. So I mean, we understood each other, and the more we worked together, the more he relied on me, and I relied on him. So it was very professional, and you know, I mean, everybody gets on when you're on the road. You know, there's no conflicts, but it's sort of outside of music. I'm my own person, and that's the way I want to be. You know, I've got my own likes and dislikes and hobbies, and I really like to get away from everybody and everything to do with music. So I think that's a healthy way to be.
Well, what are some of your hobbies?
I go running. That's you know, when I'm on the road, I'm running all the time. I play tennis, table tennis.
I'm a huge runner myself. I've been running for about 20 years now. I think it's the greatest thing in the world for your mind and your body, you know?
Well, absolutely. I mean, it keeps me sane. It keeps me focused. It keeps me maybe a little bit healthy. And, you know, it's just something that diverts you from the tedium of travel. And, you know, I mean, the concerts are always great, but the travel and the hotels can really get on top of you. So whenever I get somewhere, you know, I'm looking for somewhere to go running.
It's always about getting those cobwebs out.
Yeah, and it's really therapeutic. And like yesterday, I went found a trail in Orlando, a river trail, and I saw a big alligator. I mean, it's just not every day you see something like that. It's just I love it. But I love. I go wakeboarding, I go windsurfing, I go snowboarding.
Yeah.
I just love the outdoors.
Well,
being in the outdoors.
It was one of those things. I went for like a 4 miler yesterday, and I'm up in the mountains in western North Carolina, and it was starting to like a slight snow, and the streets were silent, and it was just me in my breathing and hearing my feet. And if you can't figure out all the thoughts in your head doing that, I don't know what else you could do, you know?
Yeah, well, we spend a lot of time in British Columbia, little town called Fernie, and that was just a beautiful pace of life. You know, that nothing was stressful, nothing was too important, because it was just such a beautiful place to be. I mean, it's like a super race of people. They're all very fit, healthy, but mentally fit as well. And I like that sort of thing.
Well, are you into trail running?
Yes.
Well, there's.
Yeah,
I would bring that up because right in Asheville, there's a place called Bent Creek, Bent Creek. It's a very, very popular dirt trail system. About less than 10 minutes from the Grey Eagle where you're playing. I would highly recommend to check that place out.
Oh, great! Yeah, I'll make a note of it, because I'm quite good at finding things, but normally, you ask in a hotel and they've got no idea. You just say, is there anywhere to go running? They're like, running? Why would you want to go running?
I swear to you, when I travel, half of my travel bag is my running clothes.
Right. Yeah. Well, I love it. For me, it's finding somewhere special is part of the fun. You're in. I mean, not particularly America, but in Europe or South America or wherever you are, the worst place you're in, you can find something beautiful. You can find a park, you can find a river. You know what it's like, and you just think, I've seen the best part of this town, and it's quite nice.
I feel like I always say that's my souvenir when I travel.
Yeah, exactly.